So yeah, after praying real hard, because all that was going on was just too much. It's like God just kept showing me so much, and I was in, a very painful mental state. So I was trying to tell my children's father about what was going on, after the keys was missing and everything. At that new home, she was not allowed there because after years and I moved from that far place, I didn't want her at my house ever again. She was just causing too much problems, running off her mouth too much. I didn't want her nowhere near me. And finding out that she even told him that I brought him to Jamaica to have someone to take his life, whatever she was saying. But this lady is really evil to be putting things like that in her son's head. No wonder we had such a bad time. I could just imagine how uncomfortable he was seeing all my family for the first time, seeing male family members he doesn't know, probably wondering, is this one she's trying to get to take my... And there was a lot of family members coming around us at that time. So I'm like, this lady is really dangerous. What else is she capable of? That young lady that came from Jamaica that I brought back up started staying with me, and it didn't work out with her and I. And she, I brought her to a shelter to stay there. She was pregnant and going through her own issues. And she had left a bed and a sofa that I had helped her to get off of Kijiji. They were in my basement, and I had offered to give it to my mother-in-law, and she refused it at that time. I told her my vehicle is big enough, I have an SUV, I could bring it. She refused me doing that. But when her son was arrested and she went back to jail, and after coming out of the hospital from having a stroke, she insisted on coming to my home to pick up that mattress and that sofa. And she was just in her son's ear, even though he was incarcerated again at this time, about getting the items. And she's willing to rent a U-Haul to come and get it. I told him that the gentleman who I knew who stayed with her at times could come along with one of his friends, but I didn't want her there. Gave them my address. The day they came, she was in the front of the U-Haul vehicle, sitting down. This lady is so insensitive and persistent. She doesn't respect anything, any wishes that I have. And she came and she stood at the door while they moved the items from the basement. Then she said she wanted to use the washroom. So I made her use the washroom that was on that floor that we were on, the first floor, the guest washroom. After using the washroom, she came out and stood at the top of the basement door. She's like, what is down here? And she dipped off and went fast down to the basement. And I got up out my sofa and I went down there following her. Saw her with her hands in her pocket. Shortly after that, we had to leave that house as well. The owner said that he's selling his home, so we needed to move. Same thing happened again. Moved, went into a different city now. We're there. She's finding out by word of mouth, either by her son, which city we live in. It's okay, but we're having issues. Oh, I forgot. I brought my son, the baby, to go see her after his father was incarcerated at that time. And when we went back to go get him, we couldn't find his shoe. And we were looking in the living room. The children were looking in the living room. That's after. Looking everywhere, up and down, can't find the shoe. So my eldest son went back into her apartment, down to a room, opened the door and went in, and the shoe was down on the ground, like placed perfectly, the way you take your shoe off and just put it down together on the ground. And he held it like this and brought it to me. I'm like, where did you find that? He said, in the room. I go, you saw it just like that, how it was, just put down? And he said, yes. And the whole time this lady is asking my young baby at the time, who was 2 years old, what did you do with the shoe, Papa? Baby, what did you do with the shoe, babe, honey? That same time when he came home, he was saying everything that he was hearing her talking about in her apartment. May I go you? That's what she was screaming and talking around in the apartment around him. When his brothers and his sister went to the store, she sent them to the store and the baby was left there. My baby came back to warn me, to tell me what this lady was planning. And I wasn't paying attention to him. So after she got those items and I had to leave that place and ended up in that other city, my eldest son wasn't himself again. But I was still bringing the children to her to go spend time with her. Once I brought the baby there again, because every time I tell her son all of this, he's finding some way to say I'm delusional and what is it? Why am I'm looking into it different than what it really is. So this time I brought the baby to go see her, or went to go pick up somebody, one of them, one or the other. And my firstborn, she gave my firstborn a vase so big, saying that it was my birthday present. It was for my birthday. This was in the month of May. This was 2019. My birthday is in December. The year prior to that, I had met in an accident, just driving on the highway, went into a pothole. The vehicle, the front of the car, the wheels went down into the pothole, and I just felt the car sprung up in the air, hit one of the median on the left, zoomed back up into the air. I was holding on to the steering wheel and just said, God help me, please. I screamed out. Seeing all the lights, everything, I don't know what's going on. Horns being honked, that's all I heard, pure noise. I felt like I was in a dream or a movie. I couldn't believe this was going on. All I could say was, Father help me, God help me, please. And the vehicle hit into the right median and just dropped on the ground, boom. Everything underneath. My car was totaled. But if you look from the outside, you couldn't see if I was in an accident, just minor scratches on the side. But everything, when the tow truck came and brought it to the mechanic, days after, the mechanic said it's totaled. Everything underneath is just, all the iron, metal, everything is just gone. The tires, the two front tires of my vehicle just like the iron, you could tell that something broke. The tires were just outwards of the vehicle like that. That's what happened to me the year before. So now, after he brought the vase downstairs and said, oh, Grandma said it's for you, it's for your birthday. So much had gone. This was in May of 2019. That had happened November 2018. I didn't die. I lived to tell the story. It wasn't enough. That's what I came to realize. Because like I said, God was showing me so much. And I was speaking to a friend and telling her all that I've gone through. And when I told her that my son brought a vase his grandmother gave, saying it's my birthday present. She asked me what I did with it. And I said, it's right here, right downstairs. I put it right in a little hall passageway. She said, take it out of your house. That is your coffin. Because she's aware of these type of things. And I didn't sleep that night. I didn't sleep. I brought it that same morning, when it was morning, because it was like early morning, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. So I stayed up and I brought it to her house. And I knocked on her door, knocked. No answer. I knew she was there. I could just feel it that she was there. And a gentleman came through the elevator and he asked me if I'm looking for so-and-so. He knew her and her children, her grandson. And I asked him to please keep it. When you get a chance to speak to her, let her know that I left. And I put a note on it. And up to today, she didn't call back about it. And when I called her and asked her, she got it. Oh yes, me get it. It's right over there, so now bother nobody. Acting like everything is all good. Same during that time, she was trying to get a gentleman to come to my home, saying that he was an herbalist, that he was referred to me by my mother-in-law. I asked him, what do you do? What are you about? He helps individuals with issues that they're having. I said, if he's coming because she sent him, something is up. Because I had been diagnosed with anxiety and depression since 2008. And it was now 2019. You're sending someone to come and see me after you and I had cursed out each other. I called the man. I confronted him. And he was denying everything. He said he was a pastor. He was a herbalist. And I rebuked him and told him he's not coming to my house. I said, you're not coming to my house. I rebuke you. You will not have my child. You will not have my children. Because I saw that my eldest son was getting sick. And I knew something was seriously wrong. I started to get a rash on my skin. And all over, I was getting rash over here, rash on my back, rash on my legs, a large patch of rash, and then it had some white bumps, and that's how my scars came about on my skin. Because I started to mess with them and, pick them and get rid, and doing all sorts of stuff, and that's how my scars appeared. I said, anyone who's trying to do anything to me, your life is going to be, you're going to experience this. And when I started talking about that, he started chanting out demon, demon to me. And I was rebuking him and sending it right back to the pit of hell. When the police came, because I was calling the police, because I'm like, she's been trying to send this gentleman to my home and I don't trust her. And I believe this man was supposed to come to my home to do something to finally take my life. My son and I ended up in the hospital. They admitted us off of the thought that we were suffering from psychosis. Yeah. The police came to my house after I had been calling them for 2-3 days, right? I was really angry and I wanted this lady to be arrested so bad. And the gentleman that she was trying to get to come to my house, who I believe is a part of what she's been doing and why she's been able to do it for so long, they thought that I was losing it, out of my mind, when I started to tell them what I was experiencing, who I believe is behind it, and how my life has been affected. It was too much. So before that, I had given them the bottles of shampoo, body wash, all those items that she was always just giving my children to bring over to the home. And when I realized that my skin was breaking out and all of that, I started to think that she had something to do with that and she was putting something into them. I don't know how correct I was or whatever, because when I went to the hospital, they did all sorts of tests on me. But trust me, from her taking pictures, taking items of my house, from my house, all sorts of stuff, all of that she was doing, I didn't trust her. And up to this day, I tell my children, do not bring anything from that lady's house to my house. I don't want anything from her over here. So yeah, they thought that I was crazy, as well as everyone else that was looking in from the outside. Telling her son, I was just angry at her son, angry at my baby father. Just letting him know that, basically upset that he had me still going back and bringing my children back to this lady after warning him, telling him how much poison this lady is to me and how much she hates me. He kept persisting that she only wants to see her grandchildren. While I was in the hospital, I was just praying, listening to my gospel music every day, just singing and praying, and I was just realizing how much close I was to almost losing my life. How severely ill I had gotten. I was less than 90 pounds. My son was going through psychosis, not eating. He couldn't speak properly. My firstborn. He couldn't make a complete sentence. He was so good at computers, and he would help me when I need to find something out, how to fix something on the computer. He couldn't. I saved the voice note of the gentleman that was trying to come to my house. We tried to do the video to put it out, and his brain was just blank. I shoot it out onto YouTube, trying to tell my story. And all the people that I was friends with on social media all started turning their backs on me, because I was speaking about what I was going through, what was happening with me. All the African countries, mostly from, I can't remember the name of the part in Africa. They were just in my inbox, on my page. Everyone was adding me. After coming out the hospital, my landlord said, I have to leave. She's gonna move in. CAS, Children's Aid Society, got involved because my children were missing a lot of school in 2019 during that time. So after I went in the hospital, my lights went off the same day. The hydro company came out and CAS was there, and my children couldn't stay there because my eldest son and I, we had gone off to the hospital. When the police came and checked on us, he said, you know what, no, we're not in our right state of mind or anything. So they brought us to the hospital and we were admitted. But my second child, he was 19. My daughter was, I would say 14, 15. And the baby, he was about 5, right? Yeah, about 5, 6. Can't believe this was like 2020. Yeah, 2019 I got, so yeah, 2019, 6, around 6. Yeah, and that's how Children's Aid got involved. And yeah, even after that, when we were in the hospital, after we came out the hospital, during that time I wasn't speaking to their father, because when he got arrested in 2015, I was so upset because I found out and heard so much things that he was out there going on with. Because after we had our last child, the 7-year-old, I thought that, he'd realize all that was going on, and, he was going to be there for us and our family, and that wasn't happening. And he went out there, and now he's incarcerated again. And I'm like, you know what? That's it. I've had enough of you and your mother. I'm sick and tired of you all. I'm sick and tired of you. So I was very upset. And then to realize that his mother has been trying to take my life, spreading all rumors and lies about me to God knows who, for so long. I realized that she was a very evil and demonic person, and that she truly was more engulfed in witchcraft and voodoo than I had ever known. That's how we ended up homeless again last year, 2020, in the hotel. And then finally getting to move here at this new home. Even while in the hotel, she was still trying to work through my children. Anytime my baby father would call, he would want to call and speak to his mother and my children on the phone, saying he's trying to get them to communicate, because he realized I was no longer taking my children to her. I was seeing too much. She was doing too much. God had just revealed her openly out to me. And no matter how I tell him every instance of everything that was going on, he would find some reason to disbelieve me. But this time I said, you know what? I don't want anything to do with her. But in the same time, I'm thinking, I don't want my children to resent me. I don't want to choose for them. But I had gotten closer to God, and I was praying and asking for help. And I baptized January of 2020 before being evicted March of 2020. While we're in the hotel and they were speaking on the phone, she was talking about me to my son. I came out the shower once, and my children's father was on the phone and with my son, because he was in the other room. We had gotten 2 rooms. So myself and my daughter and my 7-year-old, we were in one room, and then the 2 boys, older boys, were in another room. So he called me, and then I 3-wayed and called one of the boys. And while my second son was on the phone, she was telling him she didn't know I was on the phone. So I ought to know where they're talking. Then she goes, Rayshawn, when your mother talk, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. Ignore her. Sometimes she just love hear herself. I said, when I need faith, avoid me. Avoid me in the mighty name of Jesus. That's all I said, and she shut up and didn't say a word. Then when they came off the phone, my baby father is gonna say, when I got back on the phone, because I just came out the shower, Nikki, I like what you did right there. I like what you did. I believe he knows a lot of the things that his mom has done, because he has since let me know that she's been a problem for me. She's been a real problem. Since moving here, I've still brought the older ones to go see her, and even the my 7-year-old, because I'm in a better space now, and I know that no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against me shall be condemned. But she still tries. She tries through my children, though. I took my daughter's phone from her because she was always on the phone with a boy she met online, even trying to sleep, and the phone is still on. And my daughter ran away, had to call the police to get her. And it's her my daughter called to get away. And she had jumped up calling everyone, trying to get my daughter to come by her. But I continue to let God lead and trust in Him. And I put it all in His hand. I don't have to fight a battle against evil, because I already know God has it under control. That's my story. That's what I've been through and continue to go through, even after avoiding this lady. I've been, speaking with counselors, and I pray that anyone going through anything like this or similar, don't fight back. Fight on your knees. Trust God. Give it all to Him. Don't argue with the evil that's out there. God has it under control. He will take care of it for you. Just take care of yourself. Love yourself. Love your children. If you don't have any children, love yourself, love your family, and put God first. His word cannot come back to you null and void. So, thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you, and join me on this journey.